Here at our new home in the Kentucky Horse Park. Thank you all so much for coming. Welcome for our VIP party to kick off this weekend. The EQUUS Film Festival started in 2013 with founder Lisa Diersen, as all of you know. I came on board in 2015 because I too liked the idea of giving the horse films a platform to be showcased. And now we've added into the mix artists and literary, and we're a film and arts festival. Today represents our 7th anniversary event from New York to Lexington, Kentucky. Over the years, we've been featured at many locations, both nationally and internationally, as well as at the 2017 World Cup in Omaha, Nebraska, and last year at the Tryon International Equestrian Center for the World Equestrian Games, where hundreds of people saw our films. Next year, we're going to be involved with the Equitana USA, in that films will be shown at the same time that Equitana is happening, September 25th to the 27th. And I'm also on that team as well. As you can see, the Kentucky Horse Park is the perfect place to now be our new home. So a special thanks goes to our title sponsors, the Kentucky Horse Park and the International Museum of the Horse. We also owe huge thanks to our presenting sponsor, Goss Luxury RV Rentals. And we also want to applaud 2 more of our major sponsors, Wrigley Media Group and Horse Network. So, of course, the first person I want to bring up here is Lisa Diersen, the founder of the EQUUS Film Festival.
Is everybody happy with the new location? I think this is where this film festival needs to be. We wanted it to be here for a while, and now we're here, and we're excited. Everybody's excited. We have people in from all over the world. Everybody who came in from Portugal with our wonderful artist. Oh my gosh, when you get a chance to meet Karen, she's just brilliant with her photography. And then and then we've got, okay, so you have to hear a story I did today, but I'll tell you guys later. But anyway, I'm so excited and I'm so proud of all of my filmmakers and all of the authors and the artists. What you guys have just blown me away this year with the quality of the work and what's been submitted. So Diana and I are thrilled. My herd is thrilled, everybody's thrilled. So we're going to start a program. Diana's going to do a little bit of introductions. I want to thank everybody for coming, and then we're going to give you a little treat tonight. Oh, and I need to remind you, this is because I've got 87 things on my mind. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be at Hawkinsmith Gallery after the pop-up gallery closes. John Hawkinsmith has very graciously invited the filmmakers and the authors and the artists to come see his gallery in Georgetown. And then Saturday afternoon, Wrigley Media is opening up their doors to do an open house so people can come and see the beautiful facility that Wrigley Media Group has in Lexington. They're 5 minutes from the park, and they'll be open, I think, from 1:30 to 3 o'clock. We have an open house there. And then we'll be at the Horse and Barrel Tours Saturday night from 5:30 to 7:30, and they'll have an open house for filmmakers and artists and authors to go and see some of the fun bourbon stuff that's in Lexington. So it's great to see the community reaching out to us too.
So I still have a few more people to thank, and then some people that I want to speak. And there are just so many people that we would like to recognize for supporting this wonderful event of ours. Sue Ann Wells, creator of the Mustang Leadership Partners, is one of those special people. Larry McMillian, Southeast Pack Trips. Matt Monroe from the Mustang Heritage Foundation. Matt, raise your hand. And those cute little minis that we saw out there today, Jody Deagle, who came all the way from Chicago to bring those wonderful minis. And of course, we want to thank our volunteers because without them, we could not do this event. We also want to recognize some of the local people who have made a special effort to attend tonight. So a thank you goes to Will Adams from the Office of the Secretary in the General Counsel's Office, to our official artist, Caron Silas, who came all the way from Portugal. So thank you, Caron, for your wonderful art and for taking the time to join us this weekend. I'd like to recognize Felicity Marshall, Fizz, who came all the way from England. We love it when people come from abroad. She came to support our film, which is focused on mental health awareness. There are a few people I'd like to have come up and say a few words. And first, I'd like to have Laura Pruitt, Director of the Kentucky Horse Park.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kentucky Horse Park. So I want to tell you a little how this happened. I must admit that I wasn't very familiar with what the EQUUS Film Festival was all about. I happened to be in Tryon in 2018, walked through this huge tent, was mesmerized by the quality and the content that I was seeing on the screen, and found Lisa. And it's truly one of those things that we just started talking, and I said, what's this all about? She explained it to me, and I said, you all have to be at the horse park. The horse park is the only park dedicated to equine. We're 1,200 acres. We've got international shows here. We've got an international museum. This is a great fit. So I was so pleased that she built it, she moved it, and you all came. So thank you all so much for that. Lisa said that since the venue has changed from New York City, she's gotten a 50% increase in filmmaker attendance, 70% increase in artist and author attendance. So thank you all. I know that December is really hard month to travel, so thanks for coming in. And I also want to say the park is much more beautiful in the spring and summer, so I want you all to come back. But while you're here, we hope that you do get to walk around the park. We've got wonderful, wonderful staff at the horse park. I'd like to thank Amy Beisel, who is the director of our museum. She's had the time. Tony Vaughn, who is the manager of this facility, the visitors facility, and his assistant Bree have helped a lot too. So we're all here this weekend. We'll take you on a personal tour. We'll take you to pet some champions. We're at your beck and call. Seriously, we want you to enjoy your stay. We want you to come back, and we want you to tell your friends to visit the horse park. So thank you all so much for being here.
As a longtime equine journalist, I've been to the Kentucky Horse many times for its fantastic events, so this is the perfect place. I'd like Darren Rand with Goss Luxury RV Rentals to come up next.
Hi, everybody. As a son of a veterinarian, actually an equine veterinarian, grew up in this world and have a major appreciation for all of you and what you do, because when we were going to all these horse shows, you could tell the love of horses and whatever menagerie was there, dogs, cats, we even had a zebra. They called my dad Dr. Doolittle. What does that have to do with why I'm standing here? Goss RV is a company that actually rents, which you all probably see occasionally, these big luxury RVs. I call them 5-star luxury suites on wheels. You see them at some of the horse shows, see them at a lot of motorsports, see them at races, and they're all over. But what most people don't know about these is that you can rent them. And so imagine what has happened in the Airbnb world with different kinds of facilities. Goss has been doing this for 20 years. Nobody knew that until the last couple of years, where we have been changing what they're doing. They have 180 of these buses. You see them that are similar to what you see a musician or a NASCAR driver or a Formula One driver. And so these are the buses that they provide all over the country. Again, largest fleet with horses, and with the equestrian world, we used to build a lot of hay forts and hay houses and all kinds of things like that, but you couldn't exactly sleep in them, I can tell you that. They were very itchy, actually. So you need a place to stay. And with the facilities that are, this is an amazing place, and I know they have an RV park here. So when you need a luxury motor coach, EQUUS RV is the place, and we are now entering the equine world. We do a lot of work in motorsports and in festivals, Bonnaroo, and people like that. And we'd like to enter you all's world and be invited to be part of this family, because we see what it is. And the family of EQUUS has been around for 20 years. This is not something they do lightly. It's a family business. They support and do work for large, very influential people all over the world that rent these buses, and you can have them brought with a driver, you can have them brought and set up, whatever you'd like to do. Again, it's like having a 5-star suite on wheels. So you can have your horses right there and the place you're going to stay right next to it. And that's it. So we appreciate you having us here. Thank you so much, Lisa, for having us. Great partnership, wonderful person, and have a good weekend. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Jane Hancock, CEO of the Wrigley Media Group, and Elaine Fowler, CEO of the Horse Network, also part of the Wrigley Media Group, to come on up.
Thank you so much. Well, first, it is December, so I have to say happy holidays to everybody, right? It's just a beautiful time of year here at the Horse Park. Laura, actually it is all year long. There's just fantastic, wonderful things that happen here at the Horse Park. I've been here now in Kentucky for 4 years, and I'm just so inspired and so proud for our company to be part of the Kentucky Horse Park, and so proud to be part of the theaters and being able to show great storytelling and films right here. Wrigley Media Group is about 5 minutes down the road, and we are a company that is owned by Misty Wrigley Miller, and yes, we are proud to say we do have a gum heritage, and but most importantly, Misty is a 4th-generation horsewoman, and she's quite proud of that, a gold medalist at the recent World Equestrian Games, that loves being part of everything that tells stories and the history, equestrian history, equine history, and all the amazing stories that are being told, that can be told. And we, as a production company, get the pleasure to be part of what we do every day is help tell those stories. The production company that we have down the way is 40-some people with writers, directors, producers, editors, 6 Avid suites, a whole warehouse full of equipment, trucks, and I've probably forgotten something, but you can, oh, drones, it reminds me of the drones. Animators, you name it. And what we are proud to do each and every day in creating content, and today, as we all know, it's pervasive. We have so much content that as we create it in documentaries, in films, in television, we have to also figure out how to distribute it in multiple channels and multiple devices. And the expertise today that changes, actually as we're standing here, we keep up with the technology and the expertise and the subject matter experts. But the most important thing, we can't do it without people like yourselves, which have the ideas, have the inspiration, and that we get to the chance to work together and to be able to bring those stories to life is really, really a passion of ours, and I can tell you a passion of mine personally. It is for us to be here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. It's beautiful. to be able to be here at the horse park and again to be right down the street. What we will do and we commit to do for you is to be not only continued always a part of the EQUUS Film Festival, and thank you, Lisa, I think we met about 2.5 years ago and hit it off, and have it here now and to be able to help grow it here is really what our commitment is. Our commitment also is to you in terms of helping with the state incentive and continuing for a tax incentive and to continue to show how important it is, how beautiful it is to shoot here in Kentucky, and bring folks like yourself from all over the globe here and be an economic development driver for the state, because there's no reason any of you would be shooting anywhere else, or right here. And as we continue to do that, our commitment is to build our company, to build our infrastructure, to add to our staff, to bring talent in from other parts all over the globe, and to make this a place that you want to come to. Thank you, Lisa, for letting us be a part of the festival, and have a fantastic weekend. Elaine Fowler, the Horse Network.
That unless you walk very far on this. Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. And so thrilled to be here and be part of this. Again, thank you, Laura Pruitt and the whole team at the Kentucky Horse Park. It's an amazing facility. We're so proud to be here. We're so proud to have Wrigley Media Group be part of building out these theaters so that we can showcase more of the great work. Lisa and your team, everyone that's putting this festival together and the growth of it, congratulations on the success. This is going to be a phenomenal weekend. And it really comes together because of all of you. So you had a chance to meet in the social time. If you look at the talent and the creativity that's here, that's gathered, and it's all that are here, and your friends and colleagues and associations outside of this, this is powerful, and that we're coming together as a community is going to further strengthen and expand what we're able to accomplish. At the Horse Network, we're proud we reach over 1 million people every month, often more than that, and we appreciate content, good content, and we want to share anything that is authentic, heartfelt, light-hearted, serious, anything that you can imagine that connects and shares what we feel about our equine lives and all that it can do and mean for so many people. So we're going to continue from our network side to support you, and I hope to meet all of you this weekend. Please tell me your stories, tell me what the stories are that you want to share, and together our community will continue to expand and bring great joy and goodness to the world. So congratulations, everyone.
Next up, I'd like to bring Benjamin Oberman from the Film Festival Flix. Film Festival Flix is where the EQUUS Film Festival streams, so that's a good one for us.
So as a filmmaker, I used to travel to festivals all over the world, like this one, and I saw the most amazing films that unfortunately the vast majority of the world would never have the opportunity to see. And I didn't think that was right. So I started Film Festival Flix as a means to figure out how we could bridge that gap between what we experience here and what the general audience who isn't here has that opportunity. And so that's where Film Festival Flix became a streaming platform that we partner with film festivals, Lisa and the EQUUS Film Festival being one of our valued partners. And it's the opportunity that after this is over, you can see all the films you heard about that you missed here. You can also share all the films that you loved. There's also training series, additional programming. There's content so that you can be a part of the EQUUS Film Festival and the lifestyle year-round. You can invite your friends, and all of that's possible with modern technology. So currently, you can find us at filmfestivalflix.com and then click on the EQUUS Film channel. And coming quite soon after the new year on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, iOS and Android, you'll be able to find our app and watch there as well. So just like Netflix and everything else, you will have year-round programming brought to you by the EQUUS Film Festival and the Horse Network.
And speaking of films, Tim Bates from the Kentucky Film Office. Please come up and share your thoughts about bringing more award films to Kentucky.
Thank you, Diana. This kind of feels like The Price is Right. Come on down. On behalf of the Kentucky Film Office, I would like to welcome you to our wonderful backdrop. What I mean by that is the various landscapes and architecture that you're going to find here in our borders, from mountains in the east to rolling hills right here in central Kentucky and horses, to vast waterways throughout the western part of our state. So vast, in fact, that we even had a pirate film apply for our incentive a couple years ago to shoot here. So we've got a lot of different variants here, and we hope that you'll keep that in mind as you continue your projects in the future. A little bit about what we do in Frankfurt with regards to the film office. We're basically a three-legged stool, and the first leg of that stool primarily is to administer the film incentive, which in its current incarnation is not drawing nearly as much attention as it was previous to our 2018 budget session. And that's where the better part of our efforts at the film office are going toward right now, is to try to change that back, to get it, to create more value to it again, because we had a window of time where we were able to see firsthand what a strong and aggressive film incentive can do to not only bring that tidal wave of work to a state, but the enormous economic impact that it has. So that's what we're primarily concerned about. We also are concerned about education and trying to take people that already have skills from perhaps working in coal mines or construction work or electricians, and to be able to translate those skills over onto a film set. And we have a certification program right now through Asbury Seminary, the Kentucky Film Certification Program, that people are able to take advantage of. And the idea behind it, again, is to make it very cost effective, so that by educating yourself, you can pay for whatever education within 1 to 2 jobs of working professionally into the industry, so that you're not spending the next 25 years of your life paying off a college degree. We want you working, we want you making money, and that's the whole thrust behind this. These are good paying jobs. And so again, the better part of our efforts is to educate and give people a chance that have always dreamed of being in the film industry in one capacity or another, a chance to really do that. And the third leg is infrastructure. And I'll echo what Jane has said and several others. It's about building infrastructure in a state. And of course, so much of that pivots on having a good incentive. So that's the better part of our efforts at the Kentucky Film Office. If you are a filmmaker and you need assistance in finding locations, we have a database that's available at kyfilmoffice.com. Number of locations from around the state that you can peruse and see if anything fits the backdrop of your story. We have a wonderful crew base that has grown from 300 members just 3 years ago up to 800 members now. And these are film-friendly communities. These communities love to be a part of the filmmaking process. It's a collaborative process, and any of those of you that know and have been a part of filmmaking, and I am going to assume that that's the good majority of you, you know what a collaborative process this is. No one person can really do this. And so you've got such a spirit of helpfulness here and excitement. People are excited about being part of your project, and they're going to move heaven and earth to accommodate you in any way they can. So we ask that you keep those things in mind as you consider us, and hopefully we can have some success in the next budget session and get this incentive back to a place where it's going to be attractive and bring some more work in. So this is a wonderful place. This is a wonderful park. We're glad you're here, and it's made better by your presence here tonight. So thank you for coming out. Welcome to Kentucky.
Cindy Urkel is the director of the Billy and Blaze series, and we'll be showing the trailer shortly before our feature film tonight. So Cindy, can you come up and say a few words about this wonderful series?
I don't know how many of you know about Billy and Blaze, but it's a very simple series of horse stories that have been in print since the Great Depression. And we have been very fortunate to have the family of C.W. Anderson that wrote these books appreciate the script and endorse us and talk to Simon & Schuster. And this is years ago, we began to go on a Billy and Blaze journey. We had already been published through major, as a matter of fact, our first editor is the exclusive editor for J.K. Rowling's, and we had a beautifully illustrated book that when it was edited did not represent the original story because it was written in poetry and prose was what was popular at the time. We had a couple of other things like this happen that made us really know that we needed to finish Billy and Blaze, this first one in the series, just the way that we envisioned it, and then the rest of the series could happen. Because if the first one isn't just amazing, the others won't get a chance to get done. So we have worked very hard to be true to what we promised the C.W. Anderson family, and this has meant years of work. But we are so thrilled that we have the signature Billy, and we have Blaze that looks just like the illustrations in the book. And it was just beautifully filmed. The very last, the second phase of filming finished in October of last year. And we are now in post-production. The books themselves have been in the hearts of so many people, and it has really been a memory that refreshes these people even now. It's definitely a movie that can have that same effect. We are absolutely thrilled with what we have. And it's something that we just want to bring back that feeling that we used to have when we would buy things for our children in the Christmas season that was really nice to play together as a family. And Billy and Blaze just has this very wholesome, and there's just a sentiment that you feel when you're looking at the books, and we want that same sentiment that happened with the movie. We're just gonna keep going, and this has been wonderful to come here. I appreciated Lisa. She's been such an encouragement. It's very wonderful to be here with all of you and hear the projects that everyone is working on. It's a big encouragement. Thank you so much.
Both Lisa and I are big believers in the power of the horse to heal. And our next person that I'm going to invite up, Carl Lindstrom, is going to talk about the All Glory Project, a group that supports military veterans. So, Carl, come up as our last speaker.
I had a blast. I'm going to try to make it short. The films. So, the All Glory Project. We are a 501c3 national charity. And what we do primarily is we support the entire sector of equine-assisted therapies for veterans and their families. And we also do a few other things, canine, some other adjunct therapies, but primarily so far we're focusing on the equine. How do we do this? Because we're small, but we're agile and we're creative. So We have a lot of kind of irons in the fire, but the three primary pillars of what we do, first of all, is we grant funds to centers around the country that provide the therapy for the veterans. Centers can apply directly to us for grant funding, and we'll vet the centers and their therapy programs for veterans. And you know, we have some centers we've been funding now for several years. We've been around since 2010. We were officially established as a 501c3 in 2012. The second pillar of what we do is public education, trying to bring the public to an understanding of what equine facilitated therapy for veterans and their families is, how effective it is, and making them aware enough that perhaps we can start getting a little bit more of it going on. Finally, primarily as a sector supporting charity, we also do activities and various functions to try and help the entire sector be better, more viable. The thing about something like equine facilitated therapy, most of y'all are relatively familiar with horses at this point, it's not quite as plug and play as some other stuff is. So what we try to do is, as a small and agile nonprofit, is we bring the different elements of the therapeutic sector together. Peer education, increasing standardization and accreditation for the therapies and the therapists and the facilities. So really, the way you can think about it, I don't want to say it like necessarily a united way for equine therapy for veterans, but think of it that way. We, first of all, really need to thank Lisa for the opportunity for the Ellsbury Project to be featured here at this function. And by the way, one of the centers that we've been supporting for years and have a close relationship with is Bravehearts up near Chicago. And they're featured in one of the documentaries. It's Mustang Saviors. It's actually showing, it's the last one showing on Sunday. So stick around for that, the whole 3 days, and you can see that one. But we have a booth here, and I'll be around pretty much most of the weekend. So we have information. If there's anything you think you might be interested in at all when it comes to your curiosity about veterans therapy, or equine therapy, feel free to drop by and we'll have a chat. Because you know, that's what we're here for, is supporting any opportunity to bring more of the equine-based therapies to veterans and their family members. All right, thanks for your time.
Lisa and I want to recognize 3 people that are part of our core team. Julianne Neal, who's in the back of the room. Ken Basie. Raise your hand, she's also in the back of the room. And Carly. They're part of our core team, and you'll see them running around along with Lisa and I this weekend. So tonight we come to why we're all here. It's time for us to give you a small sampling of the films that will be shown over the next few days. So sit back and enjoy this taste of the fest.